All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Another day, another stream, loving it. Today, we're going to talk about Conor Gallagher. There's so much to talk about this particular player. I mean, God damn it, that Champions League draw just sapped the energy out of all of us yesterday, or else it would have been all about Conor Gallagher off the back of the tremendous work that he did against Everton. 2 goals, 2 very, very good goals, 1 extremely good goal right at the end. But he was instrumental. He was instrumental in that win against Everton. And not just Everton, he's been quite instrumental for Crystal Palace throughout this season, to a point where I think he's probably one of Crystal Palace's most important players, if not the most important player. They've got quite a few decent players, but this guy, Conor Gallagher, I mean, his stocks are rising. His stocks are rising to the point it is getting very noticeable. You cannot ignore this any longer. Forget about, making it at Chelsea. Forget about him getting an opportunity at Chelsea next season. It's getting to a point where he's seriously turning out to be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. I mean, how many more better midfielders out there in terms of work rate, production as well, the attitude? There's not that many midfielders that are probably better than him at the moment, in form. That's what I'm talking about. And if this continues, baby, it's going to be quite incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, nearly 20 of you guys are live already. Hopefully more will join through. It's only been 2 minutes, so it's a cracking start. Get those likes up. As I always say, ladies and gentlemen, the way to build this channel is simply through the likes. The more likes comes in, the channel grows. You guys enjoy it. We're building a community together. This is your channel as much as it's mine. So smash the like button as soon as you're here. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification as well. Do all of that jazz. We're going to talk about Conor Gallagher in depth. What does it mean? Is he actually going to be part of the setup next season? Some are even saying January. Simon Johnson just came up with an article talking about January. So we're going to talk about Conor Gallagher in very, very detail and in a lot of depth. We're also going to talk about, is Declan Rice needed then? I mean, where does he fit in? Because there's a part of the Chelsea fan base, a large part actually, that are dying for Declan Rice. And Declan Rice himself wants to be at Chelsea. It's quite evident. There are other teams that are vying for him as well. Obviously, Man United, maybe even Man City. I don't know. But is he needed? Is he needed? We're going to talk about the options we already have in terms of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Don't even forget Ethan Ampadu. Ethan Ampadu, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we should probably do a stream on Ethan Ampadu as well very soon, but we will talk about him today as well in this whole mix of things. Ethan Ampadu is actually doing very well in Venezia, and there's not much being talked about this. The fan base simply is not talking about it. And he's another player that should be in the mix as well next season. So there's a lot of options. And I want to throw the question out to you guys. Is Declan Rice needed at the end of all of this assessment that we're going to do today? But yeah, before we get into the whole Conor Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Ethan Ampadu, Declan Rice, so on and so forth, I want to give you guys a shout out. Let's start from the top. Quite a lot of you were logged on from the get-go. Jonathan Jitro, thank you so much, my man, for joining. Advaita Sharma, thank you heaps for joining. We've got Almighty Blue FC, my man, thank you for joining here. Shubhajit Joyti, my man, one of the biggest supporters of the channel. Miz, the real bottom line is Chelsea Academy is goated. It is. I absolutely do not disrespect the Chelsea Academy. In fact, the more the merrier. Even Ian Martson, why not? Get him in. We're looking for a left wing back. Get him in. Kartik Sharma, good to see you, my man. We've got Sai Krishna, thank you for joining. Rikesh, thank you for joining. iTest Merchant, my man, it's been a while. Thank you so much for joining. Dazael, hey, Miz. Frederick Thames is here. It's been a while, Frederick. Good to see you. Gallagher has been excellent. a pretty complete box-to-box midfielder and a player that can provide goals for us from the midfield, a player type that we haven't been blessed with for many years. Absolutely. Roby Baroa is here. Thank you so much for joining. Tumo CL, Master Yoda, my mans, thank you for joining. The Undertaker, CFC, big up Miz, SD, Ampadu loan, quite similar to Chalobah loan. Not many people talk about it. Exactly. Not many people are talking about this Ampadu loan. He's going under the radar. He's actually doing very well. He's a starter for Venezia in midfield as a sitter. In Italy, you know what they think about sitters in Italy? They're ball-playing sitters over there. Bonolo, good to see you, my man. Big up, Miz. All right. Let's get into this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start talking about Conor Gallagher. This guy, honestly, is seriously getting noted now. I have to be honest. From the beginning of the season, I didn't have much expectation. I thought, you know what? He's gone out on loan to Crystal Palace. Hopefully he does well. And if he remotely does well, we're probably going to sell him. We're going to make some money. But now it's got to a point where I don't think Chelsea would even entertain selling this particular player one bit, because I feel he's going to be a Chelsea player. And the most important factor through all of this is, ladies and gentlemen, is that Conor Gallagher himself, apparently there was a recent interview where he did with Rio Ferdinand, and he said to Rio that, Rio, when this is, publicized, or when this is, out in the open, do let Chelsea know that I want to come back. I want to be back at Chelsea. Yeah, this was a recent interview that Rio Ferdinand. You can search it up. I think it's either some people talked about it in Instagram or Twitter or somewhere. You'll find it. You'll find the link. He's so keen to make it at Chelsea. It is not funny. Conor Gallagher lives and breathes and dreams about Chelsea. He absolutely dreams about Chelsea. So this player now this season, he's completely getting noted to the point where I said the only way this player is going to make it crack into this Chelsea midfield is if he starts adding goals. Because the one thing that our midfield doesn't have, and it has a lot of work rate, it has a lot of, smartness. Obviously, Kovacic is now chipping in with assists as well. Of course, he's been injured in recent times. Jorginho, look, whatever you want to say in terms of scoring penalties, at least he's scoring them. Kante, just before he got injured, scored against Leicester. So I said the one thing Conor Gallagher has to do is he's going to have to score goals. And he's banging in goals. He's banging in goals. In the Premier League, big goals. He's putting in assists as well, here and there. And there were certain times where he should have scored, his tally should have been a lot more. Arsenal game, I remember he came so close several times to scoring. Man City, he was instrumental against Man City. That win that Crystal Palace had, big away from home as well, big. So now it's got to a point where we have to think about Conor Gallagher as part of the Chelsea midfield next season. And if that's the case, this is the first question that I want to send out to you guys. And I want to see each and every one of you guys comment about this. Where do you picture Conor Gallagher play for us next season, of course? I mean, there's some rumors. I just want to quickly bring this out. There's some talks. Some of the journalists, Simon Johnson, has been talking about this. Ladies and gentlemen, is from Simon Johnson, literally not that long ago, where he's put on an article in The Athletic, literally just 3 hours ago. Conor Gallagher is playing so well for Crystal Palace. Many Chelsea fans want him to be recalled from his loan in January. But would that be the right call? I discussed the situation here. Whoever's got the subscription to Athletic obviously can read that. But personally, I wouldn't disturb the loan situation with Crystal Palace right now. I would let him continue on, keep flourishing, keep developing, and absolutely rip it apart at Crystal Palace, and then demand a position at Chelsea with hook or crook next season. So wouldn't disturb that. I don't think it's absolutely critical for him to come back now. We're going to get Kante back in training today. Kovacic hopefully will be back soon. Then we've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho, of course. So this player, however, next season is big. But what I want to ask you guys is, where do you picture Conor Gallagher play for us next season? If we continue with the back three and the double pivot and the three up top. If we continue with the three, let's talk about the back three and the double pivot, and then we'll think about if it's a 4-3-3 down the track. But in a back three, double pivot, and the front three, where do you guys picture Conor Gallagher playing? So back three, wing backs, double pivot, front three. Where do you picture Gallagher playing in our current formation? I want to know from you guys. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Gallagher's part of the front three, Miz. He's not a double pivot. Definitely he needs to be near the box. Look, this is interesting. So you think he's part of the inside forward group, which drops into midfield anyway. But I feel he's more of a box-to-box player. I feel like he's a centre midfielder. His defensive skills, and I don't have the stats around me, but eye test, I'm talking about watching him. His off-the-ball work rate defensively is fantastic, and it cannot be ignored. I don't think he's just an out-and-out playmaker up front. I think he loves going up and down. He loves being a box-to-box midfielder. I think just penciling him down to be a cam or an inside forward, I don't think that's his game. I think he likes to drop deep in midfield. He likes to help out in defense. He likes to press from front, win the ball, much like Mount-esque. But he can play double pivot. And in my vision, I can picture him with a player like a Jorginho or a Billy Gilmore. So you have a sitter who is quite able to play with the ball and build up and, see for the ball a lot, touch the ball a lot. And then you have someone like Conor Gallagher that can go up and down. Basically, that Kante-esque kind of a role, Mount-esque kind of energy, the skill set. That's what I'm picturing. But let's have a read what else you've got before I start showcasing some stats. I'll just bring it up here as well. This season, 15 Premier League games, ladies and gentlemen, 6 goals, 3 assists, 1,318 minutes played. In the Carabao Cup as well, 1 game played, 63 minutes. 2 goals against West Ham, assist against Spurs, probably could have even scored against Spurs. 100% should have scored against Arsenal. Goal and an assist against Man City, goal against Wolves, assist against Burnley, 2 goals against Everton. I mean, he's quite regular. He is quite regular. I mean, yes, there's some gaps in between, but, he's chipping in throughout the season. He's chipping in. After 16 games, 15 Premier League games, 9 goal contribution is very, very good. David, my man, thank you so much for joining. Big up, Miz. Until we shift to a midfield 3, we won't get the best out of Gallagher. He ain't a DM or a winger in our 3-4-3. In a 3-5-2, he works better. Yeah, 3-5-2, he can be part of that midfield. But as you can see, let me just bring out recent Crystal Palace match. Because I don't necessarily think he's just an out-and-out, attacking player. He can definitely attack. There's no doubt about that. That's why he's got the goals. But I don't think we should underestimate his off-the-ball work rate. So look at this. We've got Ayew, Edouard, Zaha. So they're the front 3. Then you've got Gallagher, Hughes, Kouate. So Gallagher's definitely one of the midfield options for for Crystal Palace. And, being in that side, he is box to box. I just want to have a look in who scored. See if I'm able to get the heat map. I think at times they show the heat map. Offensive, passing, detailed. How can I see? All right, let's have a look at this Everton game recently. I just want to bring out the heat map. Pretty sure I can. Here we go. Heat map. There we go. Look at his heat map. Unselect all of that. He's a lot on the right side. He's operating over here, up on the left side, very high up. He's a lot in that midfield. Look at the time he spent in defense as well. This is box to box. You can clearly see this heat map, ladies and gentlemen, how much of a box to box player he is. Yes, he's got a lot of movement in and around the box as well, but plenty of presence in midfield, plenty of presence in the defensive side as well. So it can't be disregarded. This heat map tells you that he is a box-to-box player, box-to-box midfielder, undoubtedly. So for me, just to pencil him down up front, I don't think that's ideal. I really don't think that's ideal. Let's have a look at some of your comments now. Aka, I think Gallagher would need a destroyer DM next to him. I think to fit in all the midfielders we have, we will have to change formation at some point. Destroyer midfield. Let's have a look at what's his chalkboard. Let's have a look at his. How many interceptions is he doing? Tackles attempted. It's at 27. And select all of that. 7. Passes, 487 stats. Touches. Am I reading this right? Interceptions, 4? No. Wait, there's another way. Yeah, here we go. Premier League. Interceptions, fouls, tackles, 2.8 tackles a game. So this is per game. Passing, 1.8 key passes a game. Average passes, 33.9. That's probably going to be a lot more at Chelsea because you're going to see the ball a lot more. 82.3% passing accuracy in the Premier League, 15 games out of that. So defensive attributes as well. Look. I mean, he's not shy from his defensive work rate. 6 goals, 3 assists. I think this is SPG, shots per game. 2.3 shots per game. That's pretty good. 1.8 key passes per game is very good. 1.2 dribbles as well. I mean, it's just really, really good. Doesn't get that much dispossessed. 1.5. I don't think that's a lot in a game. Literally less than 2 times getting dispossessed. I think this is brilliant work from Conor Gallagher. Let's have a read at some of your comments now. Prashant, second goal against Everton. What a goal. Yeah. Brilliant hit. Excellent hit. Outside of the box as well. Okay. All our midfielders are box to box except Georgie. We do need to think about our balance. Exactly. So this is why now we're going to transition. I think we can now understand the fact that Conor Gallagher is a box to box. I personally think he's a box to box. I don't think he's just someone who sticks up there. We've seen the heat map. We've seen it live in games. He is quite box to box. He helps out. So when you think about Conor Gallagher being a box to box player, I want to now ask you guys, what do you think of when we are linked with players like Declan Rice? For me, Declan Rice is also a box to box midfielder. Look at what he's doing for West Ham this season specifically. Souček is the one that's sitting deep, and it's Declan Rice that goes box to box. So do we actually need another box-to-box midfielder? Is there a need for Declan Rice? Or do we need to go for someone like Tchouaméni? Or Billy Gilmore comes in and fills the Jorginho role? That's why I've preferred Tchouaméni a lot. And I don't think we need a player like Declan Rice. I personally don't think it's a need, because Conor Gallagher should be taking that spot. Conor Gallagher should be taking that box-to-box spot. But I want to know from you guys what you think. Ahmed Faiz, thank you so much for joining. Sportswire, thank you so much for joining. Google Lethu, thank you so much for joining. Miz, it's the different type of goals he scores that shows he is natural at it, 100%. Ahmed Faiz, hey Miz, Faiz from Hong Kong at work and watching your stream. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, my man. I love this. Sai Krishnan, mostly Mason will get into the front three at the right wing or cam position while Gallagher plays, because Tchouaméni or Billy in the pivot, he will do the job that we are expecting of him. Exactly. This is exactly how I picture Conor Gallagher play. He's playing alongside a Billy or a Georgie or a Tchouaméni in a pivot where they control the tempo and the midfield, and then Gallagher is up and down. And defensively, he can do a job as well. Attackingly, he can add goals and assists. Robbie Baroa, Miz, I use Ivan Rakitic as a reference to compare Conor. Very box-to-box, covers a lot of ground, but if you play him too deep, it would take the shine out of his attacking output. Yeah, exactly. Not too deep. Not to the sense where he's in Georgie's level in terms of playing deep, or even Kovacic's level. I think Kovacic thrives from playing deep, because he loves to drive from deep and then break into midfield and open play up. Whereas Conor, I don't think he wants to go that deep. He probably, as I said, central midfield, but box to box. I don't think he wants to be up in the final third and just stay there and be a cam. I don't think that's his game either. He wants to get involved. He wants to get his, hands dirty. So for me, yeah, not too deep, but definitely in the center of midfield. But I want to ask you guys, how do you picture? What is the balance? Throw in Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. Where does Ruben Loftus-Cheek fit into all of this mix? Because Chelsea fan base, they get so excited of the new toy all the time. They get excited. Let's get Declan Rice. Let's get Declan Rice. Declan Rice is going to be worth at least 100 million. West Ham are flying. They're going for top 4, and they're a good shout for top 4. That 4th spot in the Premier League is a very good shout for West Ham. Obviously, Man United's chasing. Obviously, Arsenal is in the mix, but I think they're going to drop off. Spurs with Conte, we don't know. So if West Ham somehow manages to get top 4, or even goes as deep as possible in the Europa League, who knows? Even if they win it, the craziest things have happened. If West Ham make it to the Champions League next season, would Declan Rice leave West Ham? If West Ham makes Champions League next season, whether winning the Europa League, whether coming 4th, does Declan Rice leave West Ham? And if he does, I guarantee you he's going to be worth at least 100 mil. I mean, this is what Mr. Moyes, David Moyes, has already been talking about. He's worth 100 million last season. This season, he might be even worth more. So I want to ask each and every one of you guys, is that needed? Is that kind of a player needed? Or are you more inclined to provide time for a player like Conor Gallagher? Do you feel Conor Gallagher and Declan Rice would probably be in the same parts of the field, probably would be competing in the same area, considering it's a back three with wing backs and a double pivot? If it's a midfield three, then obviously different situation again. Or even in a 3-5-2. If you get someone like Declan Rice, what about Conor Gallagher? What about Ethan Ampadu? What about Ruben Loftus-Cheek? I want to hear from you guys. I want to start a discussion. Give me your comments about all of this. Ms. Conor Gallagher will not fit in our current system. Is that how you feel? Ladies and gentlemen, is that how you really feel? Conor Gallagher wouldn't fit in our current system? Don't you think Conor Gallagher's combination with Jorginho might actually be very, very good? I personally think it would. Conor Gallagher's work rate is unbelievable and he can add goals from midfield. His pressing is incredible. Don't you think someone like Conor Gallagher would be nice next to Jorginho? I'm not saying as a permanent basis, but as an option. Kante is obviously, undoubtedly would be the first option. Then obviously there's Kovacic as well. But wouldn't Conor Gallagher be an option in this scenario at all? So if Thomas Tuchel was to keep this system and this formation, are you lot saying that Conor Gallagher doesn't make Chelsea football team? Is that where we are? I disagree. I disagree with that. I think he makes it. Vernon is saying Gallagher is not a 6. Yes, he's not a 6. I don't think he's a sitter. But I think he's a box-to-box midfielder. I definitely think he's a box-to-box midfielder. Or he has the attributes to be a box-to-box midfielder. Prashant, Gilmore Tchouameni for Georgie and bring back Gallagher for Kante. No need to spend 100 million for us. This is how I feel. And this is no disrespect to Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is a phenomenal player. Is a phenomenal player, Declan Rice. But I've got doubts as to how we would actually play him. Would Declan Rice be a sitter and then we have attacking eights, ball playing attacking eights, ball players? So is he just essentially someone who's going to sit deep and then when the fullbacks bomb up, maybe he can become an auxiliary defender. So the RCB and the LCB sort of spread out and Declan Rice sits in between them, creating a back three. If we were to go to a 4-3-3 situation, is Declan Rice that type of a player? Is that the best way to utilize Declan Rice? Considering Declan Rice wants to be a box-to-box midfielder. He even said his idol is Kante. I still think we need a Jorginho style of a 6. I still think we need a Jorginho-esque style of a sitter. A Tchouameni perfectly fits. Billy Gilmore perfectly fits. Ladies and gentlemen, we're nearly up to 90 people live. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to 50 straight away. We're going to try and get to 100 likes if we can by the end of the stream. Let's get to 50 likes. That's 18 likes away. We're going to continue this conversation. I think this is a very, very interesting conversation to have. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, where do we see him? Conor Gallagher, Ethan Ampadu, Declan Rice, all sorts. So smash the like button, guys. 16 likes away from 50 likes. Let's get to 50 likes immediately. 15 likes now. Only 15 likes away from 50 likes, and then we'll chase the 100. Let's bump those likes up if you're enjoying this discussion. And participate, comment. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification as well. We're going to keep reading some more comments. Meanwhile, smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. 37, only 13 likes away from 50 likes. Let's get to 50 likes immediately. As I said, the likes are so vital to the growth of this channel. And if you guys want to be part as a community together, we can grow this channel. Let's do it. Princeton, Tuchel, first priority we have seen is Rice, then it comes Shermani. And yes, and as you said, Miz, if West Ham win Europa and progress to Champions League, there is no chance he's leaving the club. Yeah, I don't think he will. I think he will stick around for one more season, if that's the case. There's a 2020-21 deep-lying Declan Rice, and then there's the 2021-22 attacking Declan Rice. The prior could have filled in defense. Exactly right, Bobby. 2020-21, he was the deep-lying sort of sitter. By 2021-22, he is more of an attacking. Now, I appreciate him more as a box-to-box now, Declan Rice. I don't necessarily think he has the skill sets that we want from a builder. Jorginho at times touches the ball, maybe 100 times a game? Declan Rice will have to show up for the ball literally 100 times a game and keep it moving. Quick thinking. Before the ball even comes to him, pass. The way Jorginho does. One-touch passes. I just don't know if that's the best way to utilize Declan Rice. I mean, it could be an option. He could sit deep, and as I said, you could have attacking aides that are ball players, that are there to build up play as well. So you could have other ways of building the play. There's no doubt about that. But is he needed with all the players that we have? Conor Gallagher, Ethan Ampadu, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the future of Ethan Ampadu for a second? Let's talk about this. Isn't Ethan Ampadu considered at all? Look at what he's doing in Venezia, ladies and gentlemen. Ethan Ampadu in Venezia is doing brilliantly, and I just want to bring this up as well. Ethan Ampadu for Venezia is actually playing as a DM. This is the last game against Juventus, 1-1. Fantastic result for Venezia. Look at Ethan Ampadu. Look at where he is. Smack bang in the middle of the park. And he's actually got an assist from that position. A very, very good assist. I think it was for this particular player called Aramu. Ethan Ampadu is playing as a regista, pretty much, in Italy. That's what he's doing. Why aren't we thinking about giving him an opportunity next season? As a backup, and you slowly sort of get up. Tracks. Miz, the problem is Ruben Loftus-Cheek injuries this season under Sarri. He was getting up to speed. Long-term Ruben Loftus-Cheek can be on the bench with Conor and Georgie pivot. Yeah. And I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is okay with that. He just wants to be a Chelsea player, to be honest. And I'm okay for him to have that impact off the bench and play that odd game, start that odd game. He's got to pick up his performances off late, to be honest. Aloisi, good to see you, my man. Yeah, Miz, but we also thought Saul and Kovacic would be good, but look at how that turned out. Yeah, true. I mean, these are all hypotheticals, but if you look at what Conor Gallagher is doing at Crystal Palace in that midfield, it should give you the confidence that he can be a box-to-box midfielder, and I think his combination with Georgie could be good. And even Kovacic. I mean, Saul was an absolute downer, Aloisi. Saul was... you guys know it very well, live chat. I never wanted Saul. I wanted players like Ethan Ampadu and Ruben Loftus-Cheek to get an opportunity. They would play more for Chelsea Football Club because they want to make it at Chelsea Football Club. Do you know what I mean? Look at Ethan Ampadu. He's now a regular. Let's check out the next. Let's check out the match before Juventus. Venezia. I think he might have got that red card over there. Let's have a look. Nah, it wasn't him. They ended up losing, but still, he didn't start this game. Did he come off the bench? No, he didn't play this game at all. Let's check out the last game before this. So he played against Juventus, didn't play against Verona. Atalanta absolutely creamed them 4-0. Atalanta is a very, very good team. So Venezia, not a great team out there. Ethan Ampadu is playing on the right side of midfield. Basically, he's predominantly playing in midfield. Center midfielder. Let's see if we can search up Ethan Ampadu. Declan in Ireland, good to see you, my man. Miz, love you relate and interact with the viewers. Others don't, man. Honestly, these streams would not be anything without you guys. I'll be honest. I'll just be talking to no one then. You guys make these streams so special. You really do. And this is why I keep coming back on a regular basis, on a daily basis to do streams. Because one, it's something I enjoy doing. So when you enjoy doing something, you want to do a lot more of it. And two, I get to spend time with you guys and communicate and discuss. And I learn from you guys as well. I'm not someone who's going to come here and be arrogant and act like I know everything. I don't know everything. I'll be honest with you straight up. I learn with you guys. And I love spending time with you guys, honestly. Look at where Ethan Ampadu has been playing. Let's have a look at his stats this season. Ten games played in the Serie A, 2 assists as well. I mean, for someone, there you go. 6 games in DM, 3 games in central midfield. 6 games in DM. We can see her here. Torino, DM. Cagliari, DM. Sassuolo, DM. Roma, DM. He got an assist against Roma as well. They ended up winning that. And he can play center midfield, DM against Juventus as well. So bottom line, why isn't he getting talked about? Why isn't Ethan Ampadu getting talked about, ladies and gentlemen? Timothy is saying he should not play with Jorginho, Conor Gallagher. I tend to think he could do well. Rohit Segal, good to see you, my man. Miz, Conor made for 4-3-3 system. He damn good as a D8. Yes. No problems. But in a 4-3-3, let's say he's one of the LCMs or RCM. Let's say he's an RCM. Who's your sitter? It has to be Jorginho, right? Jorginho would still be the sitter next season. I don't think Jorginho is leaving. Or are you thinking Declan Rice the sitter? For me, that's not the best way to utilize Declan Rice. And that's not how we play. You need the sitter to be very, very, available on the ball. Consistently touching the ball a lot. Massively influential in the build-up. Bobby Fairview. We definitely do not need Rice. Too expensive and not much better than what we have. Look, he's a very good player. As I said, I'm not going to lie. He's a very, very good player. But is it just a matter of the fact that he's an ex-Chelsea Academy player? He's best mates with Mason Mount. He knows a lot of Chelsea, players. Is it that? Is it just a sentimental value with Rice? Of course, he's a very good player, but I don't tend to think that's a need because we have similaristic players like Conor Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, box to box. Kante still is in the football club. We need someone who can be the Jorginho-esque kind of a sitter, like a Billy Gilmore, maybe even Ethan Ampadu, maybe Tchouaméni. So for me, these are far more important. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 51 likes. Let's get to 100 now. Let's push for 70. 19 likes away from 70 likes. Let's get to 70 likes ASAP, ladies and gentlemen. Um, this is quite interesting to see what you guys have to talk about this particular scenario. Let's get 17 likes to 70. So there you go. It's jumping nicely. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. 14 likes now from to get to 70. Wow, 12 likes now to get to 70. It's jumping. It's going high. As I said, if you guys are enjoying this discussion, smash the like button. 9 more likes away from 70. This is moving quick. 9 more likes to get to 70. Let's get to 70 and then we push for 100. Okay. Ahmed Fez. CG is better technically and also great output compared to Rice. I would take CG any day. You know what? Let's have a look at Rice as well. I think Rice has been doing all right this season in terms of numbers. But, of course, Declan Rice is, far more suited as a defensive midfielder, I suppose. But this season, he has been box to box. Look at where he's been playing. He's actually even played. Let's bring up the stats. Current season. 16 Premier League games, 1 goal, 3 assists, plays as a DM. 20 games as a DM, pretty much every game. Let's have a look at Declan Rice's heat map. Played against Burnley in 90 minutes. I want to see what he did against Burnley. And I want to compare that with Chelsea as well. Heat map. Unselect everyone. Unselect everyone and go with Declan Rice. Look at that. Box to box as well. Not just sitting very much, and that heavy sort of input here. So it's in the attacking half. So as you can see, the blue line going that way. See that blue patch over here? That's where a lot of the time is. And he's in the attacking half a lot, basically sitting. And that could be because it's Burnley. Not really spending too much time here. Is more sort of, you can say box to box. He can go back, he can go forward. Spending a lot of time on the right side. Let's have a look at what he did against Chelsea. I think this will be very, very different. Against Chelsea, look at that. Look at that. Against Chelsea, as you can see the arrow going this way, he's pretty much just boxed. He was in his half mostly. And on the left side, look at where he operated against us. He did not go up against us. So you have to ask yourself, when Chelsea plays, let's say, for example, against a City, Man City or a Liverpool, what would Declan Rice's role be? Because if he's going to sit deep against teams that are going to come at us, is he going to be the kind of player that we need in terms of the build-up? Let's have a look at how many touches he takes per game. Declan Rice, Premier League. Average passes 54.8. 54.8. Let me have a look at Jorginho now. How many average passes? Average passes per game is 54. 90.4 is passing accuracy, which is good. 54.8. Let's have a look at Jorginho just to compare how many times you would have to actually touch the ball. I'm going to get to your comments very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. 89.2. Sorry. Premier League. Wow, okay. Premier League 59.7. So it's not that much more. But however, if you look at elsewhere though, Champions League 77.4. $59.7. I'm actually a little bit surprised by that Declan Rice is not that far away from Jorginho in terms of average passes per game. Does this have to do with how many matches they've played as well? Would that have an impact? So obviously Jorginho has played less matches, but still, it's interesting to see that in the Champions League, his average passes is 77.4. International friendly, FIFA World Cup. This must be the qualifiers, 79.8. Let's have a look at some of your comments now. Ahmed Faiz, do you remember Rio Ferdinand publicly quoting CG that he isn't in the shopping window and CG really wants to make it at Chelsea? Yeah, this is what I said earlier in the stream, that Conor Gallagher really wants to make it at Chelsea. Prejumpa, thank you so much for joining. Miz, the question is simple. Can Rice retain the ball like Jorginho when surrendered back? Exactly. This is it. Can Rice retain the ball like Jorginho when surrounded by 3 to 4 players and recycle possession? I think Gilmour is better suited for Chelsea than Rice. This is exactly my question as well. Because Chelsea will get pressed and we're going to hold the ball a lot. Is Declan Rice capable of retaining possession? He may be down the track once you integrate with the system. You may be, but for me, I see Declan Rice more of a Kante kind of player, box to box, go out there, chase, press, destroy, win the ball. I think he'd be far better suited for that. Let's see what else you guys have to say. Kabina, Ampadu made his first team debut at 15, 21 already. He has 31 caps for Wales. Yes. Why isn't Ampadu getting talked about? Why isn't Ampadu in the mix of all of this? I feel like he deserves to be in the mix. I mean, playing in the Serie A, that's a good league. That's a decent league, man. Coming up against some very good, Inter Milan, your AC Milan's, Atalanta. These are good teams. Napoli. These are good teams. S. Roy, good to see you, my man. Most important thing is, Miz, he plays for weaker team West Ham, yet plays in the same or better levels. Admit or not, he's better than J5 in terms of recovery runs and ping long balls. Better. Yeah, look, if you're talking about athleticism, yes. But you cannot deny Jorginho's smartness. Jorginho's know-how in the game. This is why I hate the disrespect towards Jorginho so much. People don't seem to see the intangibles of Jorginho. It isn't a coincidence that he's an integral part of a team like Italy that has won the Euros. Look at the way the Italian coaches, his teammates, talk about him. James Maddison last season, when asked who's probably one of the best midfielders you've come across, the first name James Maddison said was Jorginho because of how he controls the midfield. I'm not making any of these up. These are players coming out and saying, Chelsea players are coming out and saying Jorginho controls the match. Mason Mount says Jorginho controls the match. It's not a coincidence that Jorginho, some of our sort of success we've had in recent times, an integral part, and I'm not saying he's the only part, an integral part has been Jorginho. So I hate the disrespect, man. I really do. I appreciate Declan Rice, but I hate the disrespect of what Jorginho really does for us. And it's so easily said that, oh, Declan could do Jorginho's role with his eyes closed. I mean, it kind of makes it seem like as if Jorginho does nothing. This right here from Shubhajyoti, Jorginho's brain is his most valuable asset. I don't think it's as simple as just plug in Declan Rice where Jorginho plays and baby, we're set. We're set to go. It would have to be a different way of football, in my opinion. It would have to be what Frank Lampard did. Lone DM attacking eights, where the DM doesn't really bomb up. This is why he wanted Declan Rice. He wanted a defensive midfielder that's going to be disciplined to stay deep and help out the defense and connect with the attacking midfielders. But Jorginho he allows us to play possession-based football. Take away Jorginho from the team now, I tell you right now, you're going to get that Watford performance on a day-to-day basis. Unless if you have Kovacic in the team. If you don't have Jorginho and Kovacic, I'm telling you, you're gonna get Watford kind of performances every day of the week. Zenit kind of performances every day of the week. Even if you have Kante, because Kante is not really someone who's going to build up from the back. Kante is a destroyer. He chases, he runs after balls, he wins balls up front. Without Jorginho or Kovacic, our build-up just goes to the bin. And people think just plug in Declan Rice there and it's just going to be easy. I don't know, man. I really don't think it's as easy as that. This is why I'm saying Shermany is probably better for the balance. And then Conor Gallagher is someone who can be that box-to-box that I feel who Declan Rice is at the moment. That's why for me, I don't think it's a need to get Declan Rice. But yeah, let me know if my theory makes sense to you guys or you guys are thinking otherwise. Aka Miz, compare Georgie's defensive stats like interceptions to Rice. The gap isn't that big. Yeah, exactly. The amount of interceptions that Georgie makes because he reads the game so well, people disrespect that a lot. Kabina, Jorginho IQ is high. In the Euros final, Phillips and Rice together couldn't stop him. Exactly. Now, people are going to say, well, that was Southgate tactics. You know, Gareth Southgate plays like that. But no, Jorginho was instrumental. Jorginho was instrumental in that Euros victory for Italy. Gaurav, good to see you, my man. Miz, Jorginho is in a Pep Guardiola setup. Can you imagine him? Man City was after him. Exactly. Look at what Rodri is doing. Rodri is a fantastic player now, by the way. Rodri has turned into... And this is what I mean about having a big-time manager. Thomas Tuchel is a big-time manager that is developing some of our players. Pep Guardiola is same, if not better, in terms of player development. Rodri last season was not a good player. Rodri this season is exactly what Man City wanted from that midfield, a register kind of a player. But Rodri, he actually goes further up and at times scores goals, assists, links up with the attack. Phenomenal player. Jorginho would have been amazing for Man City. He would just be pinging one-touch passes. Build-up would be seamless. He'd be laying the ball off to the attackers. You can see why he was just whiskers away from joining Man City. He literally was. And then Sarri convinced him to come over. Sai Krishna, Ampadu needs another loan in Serie A to become Jorginho-esque player. I mean, he's been in quite a few loans now, Sai. Leipzig, I know he didn't play enough, but still, that's a high-profile loan. Played in a back three, though. Played more as a defender in a back three. LCB, sometimes in the middle of this three at the back. Sheffield United as well, he played in the back three. But now in Venezia, he's playing in midfield. So he's done... I feel like he's done his time in terms of loans. I feel like he could be a very decent backup player for Chelsea. Undoubtedly. Sportswire. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only 27 likes away from 100 likes. The aim of the game was 100 likes for the stream. I think it's going to be fantastic. We always chase 100 likes for the stream. 27 likes away. If you've been enjoying this discussion, interactive discussion, picking up your comments and having a conversation out of it, please smash the like button. 27 more likes away from 100 likes. It'll be fantastic target for the stream. 25 likes now. So we're reaching there very, very quick. So let's do that, ladies and gentlemen. Sportswire. When Cruz says Jorginho work rate can only understood by players on the pitch, that pitch, you got to respect it. There you go. Tony Cruz is another stupendous player. And when he says Jorginho's work rate can only be understood by players on that pitch, you don't need to say much. You don't need to say much. Justice. Aubameyang stripped off Arsenal captaincy. Wow, that was coming. We need to talk about this down the track. I can't wait to have Down Under Football Crew next week. Obviously, this week we have the Champions League draw. Next week when I have Scott on, it'll be good to talk about Aubameyang and Arsenal affairs. Declared, it's been a while. It's been a while, my Australian friend. How you been? There is very few players that can do what Jorginho does, and people only see it when he's not in the team. Exactly. That Watford game, oh my God. Evens in it. Biggie Wolf, Rice is what Matic was to Kante and not Jorginho's replacement. Exactly. Yep. That's exactly how I feel as well. Not Georgie's replacement. Not the way we are playing, unless we change our style. But I don't think Thomas Tuchel wants to play counter-attacking football without the ball. I think Thomas Tuchel wants to play possession-based, wants to hold possession a lot. Oh my God, the Jovic duo is underrated. Oh man, I missed that duo, man. When's Kovacic and Jorginho going to come back? Honestly, really missed that. SM talks Chelsea. Miz, Rice can play as the holding midfielder. Yeah, he can, but if he's the holding midfielder, then we do need, as I said, we need different dynamics in the LCM and RCM. If he's the holding midfielder, then we need where is the build-up coming from? Is he going to be heavily involved in the build-up if he's the holding midfielder? And if he's the holding midfielder, what type of a style? Are we playing possession-based or a counter-attacking style? Because counter-attacking, you need a holding midfielder. Possession-based, you need a sitter that's going to be very good with the ball, can control the tempo of the midfield, can literally control the midfield, control the opposition. Now ask yourself, is that Declan Rice, or is he someone who's more box to box? Biggie Wolves, Sherman is a mix of Georgie and Kante. He can pass and defend. Exactly. Cesc Fabregas said he can pretty much play anywhere in midfield. To Musiel, I really think Sherman is a good fit to this team than Rice. I personally think so as well. I really think so as well. He's cheaper. He'll be cheaper as well. So, yeah. We've got a fake Ma in the house. We will need to put him on timeout. All right, we're going to take a couple of more comments before we wrap things up. We're 16 likes away from 100 likes, still over 100 people live. Let's get those likes to 100. I think it'll be fantastic achievement for the stream. 100 likes. You guys have been awesome in the live chat. And this has been a fantastic conversation, honestly. All right, Declared. Let's see what Declared has to say. Rice would be similar to what Kante does for the team, box to box and City if we need eggs. This is how I feel as well. For me, I've always said Tchouaméni is more of a Jorginho backup replacement. Rice is more Kante-esque. Conor Gallagher is Kante-esque, box to box. In our current system, I'm talking about. That's why I don't want Rice, because I have Conor, I have Ruben, I have, even for Jorginho, I could even think about Ethan Ampadu. And at this point, we shouldn't be disregarding any of these players. So yeah, final verdict, ladies and gentlemen. Do we need Declan Rice? I want to hear from you guys before we wrap things up. Comment away, and I want to read some of those comments. Do we need Declan Rice? Final to close this particular stream off. Or do you rather give someone like Conor Gallagher next season with the likes of Ethan Ampadu as well? Perhaps could be, rotational player in the register. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Billy Gilmore. Let me know in your comments. Declan Rice, is it a need or not? Is it a need or not? Conor Gallagher, do you want him back at Chelsea Football Club next season? Let's see. Meanwhile, smash the like button. Only 14 likes away from 100 likes. S. Roy, 100% needs Rice. He loves Declan Rice. And each to their own. I completely respect you, S. Roy. Everyone has their own philosophy, own perspective, own way of seeing how their football club should be playing. And S. Roy wants Declan Rice, which is absolutely okay. There's no right or wrong answer here. Corbina saying no. Declared is saying we don't need any mids. Better to invest in different areas. Exactly. I feel like we need to think about getting a left wing back, maybe even a defender, maybe another forward, like a goal-scoring winger, perhaps. Man, this... Wow, Ms. Burner account. Man, people are getting creative these days. Wow. Incredible. Someone probably put that one on a timeout if you can. All right, a couple of more comments before we wrap things up. No, we don't need Declan. We need Tchouaméni. There you go. Declan in Ireland. We're 12 likes away from 100 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. Corbina. Conor Gallagher next season, 100%. Musaholic, no, it will stifle the growth of the homegrown guys we have. To me, Tchouaméni is far more important. Brilliant. Victor, I want both. If you want both, what about Conor Gallagher? Are you talking about you want both of these, Tchouaméni and Declan Rice, or Declan Rice and Conor Gallagher? Tell me what both are you talking about? Tchouaméni is okay. No need Rice at this moment. Looks like a lot of people are not that in favor of Rice, and they believe we've got all the ingredients and we've got other players that can come in. 11 likes away from 100 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get there. We don't need Rice. The way we play, Gilmore will fit. Gallagher deserves to start for Chelsea as part of the Twin Six. I love it, man. Miz, we need Goosens. Yeah, Luca Dean. Luca Dean is probably a shout as well. We'll see if Luca Dean actually starts for Everton during the upcoming match because Rafa Benitez actually doesn't fancy him. To be honest, I want Rice and Gallagher. If that's the case, then what about Tchouaméni? And then what about Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Sai Krishna, Miz, we need Billy, Conor, Ampadu on bench, but need Goosens from Atalanta is needed. There you go. Left wing back is 100% something needed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic stream. Thank you so much for your time. Look out for the watch-along. I mean, let me know if you guys are keen. I might do a watch-along for the Man City Leeds game. I really want to keep a track of what Man City and Liverpool are doing. So I'm thinking about doing a watch-along for the Man City Leeds game. I'm cheering on Leeds to win that game. I think it could be an interesting watch-along. Let me know if you guys are keen on that watch-along, or are you guys going to be watching that match, Man City Leeds? Because based on that, I'm happy to do a watch-along. There's 100 of you guys alive. Let me know if there's going to be quite a decent number turning out for the watch-along for Man City versus Leeds. Because, yeah, I'm thinking about doing it and really cheering Leeds on. I think it'll be mad if Leeds can, take some points away from City. I think it'll be very, very unlikely. But it'll be a good watch along. But yeah, do a poll. I'm about to finish off the stream, so it's not going to be much of a poll, but comment to see if you guys are going to be watching Man City versus Leeds. So saying I'll watch the match if you're doing a watch along. Okay, cool. Kabina saying let Leeds beat City away last season with 10. Exactly. So yeah, I'm probably might be doing a watch along for that. So do look out for that. And if I do watch along, it'll probably start 10 minutes before the kickoff, so we can talk about the lineups and whatnot. Declan in Ireland, do the watch along, Miz. All right. I think we might have to. I think it'll be interesting. Hopefully, City drops some points. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure talking to each and every one of you guys. Smash the like button before you go. 7 more likes. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification. And until next time, take care and see ya.